Good morning, seventh graders. Let's look at your IXL practices today. I'm going to teach you guys a couple things, show you a couple problems, and then I'm going to ask that you complete 3 of them by Friday, trying to get 100%, okay? So let me share my screen here with you. Okay, so your 3 skills I want you to complete by Thursday are percents of numbers, word problems, solve percent equations, and then solve percent equation word problems. And I'm going to show you each of those right now. So let's start with percent of numbers, word problems. Okay, so the students in Carly's class got to choose between pizza and burgers for the celebration on the last day of school. 80% of the students picked pizza. If there are 30 students in all of Carly's class, how many picked pizza? Okay, so 80% chose pizza. Okay, there are 30 students total. So if we had 30 students and 80% of, remember, of is multiplication, so 80% chose pizza. So we're going to multiply this by 0.8. Okay. 3 times 8 is 24. Okay. Add your 0. Right. 2 zeros because it's 80%. Okay. And then we need to move the decimal over 2 places. So 1, 2. There you go. So how many people chose pizza? 24 people. Okay. Let's look at another one. At Daniel's hats, 40% of the 65 are baseball. How many are baseball? All right, so you're going to do 40% times 65. So if you do 65 times 40%, I'm just going to add my 0 on at the end. So 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 2 is 26. Add that 0 on at the end. 2 decimal places, right? 26. Pretty easy, right? Let's look at one more. Town voted on a new speed limit. 60% of the 20 votes were in favor of the new speed limit. How many were in favor? All right, so you got 60% of, so 60% times 20. So if we do 20 times 0.60, you can just do 6 times 2, which we know is 12, and then add your 2 zeros on at the end. And we have 2 decimal points. So right here. So there you go, 12 people. Okay. That is your first skill. Pretty simple. Let's go to your next one. So we're down to 7th grade. You guys are in module 4 right now. Okay, solve percent equations. Let's look at some of those. So we have 20% of something equals 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this as in just a regular equation first. Okay, so I'm going to make this a decimal. So I got 20%, 0.20 times of, we don't know what this number is. So I'm going to just say n. I'm going to call it n equals 7. Okay, so once again, we should know this when we're solving algebra equations. We need to get the variable n all by itself. So in order to do that, we need to divide this side by 0.20. But if we do that side by 0.20, we have to divide this side by 0.20. Okay, and that is going to leave us just with n. So now n, that blank box, equals 7 divided by 0.20. So if we do this over here, 7 divided by 0.20, I'm going to move my decimal over 2 places to make this a whole number. So 1, 2. It means I got to move this over 2. So 1, 2. Okay. So there we go. So 20 goes into 70, we know 3 times. And that gives us 60. 10 left over, bring down our imaginary 0. 20 goes into 100, we know 5 times, and there we go. That's our answer. Okay, so 35. So 20% of the number 35 equals 7. All right, let's do one more. So what percent of 20 equals 15? So again, I'm just going to use the letter n for my variable. N times 20 equals 15. Okay, to get n by itself, I need to do the opposite of this multiplication. So I need to do division. Divide this by 20. I got to divide this by 20. Okay, you're just left with n, which is what you want. So I'm going to write over here n equals 15 divided by 20. So if we do down here, I'm just going to do this real quick. 15 divided by 20. Here's your decimal right here. Okay, 20 doesn't go into 15, but it goes into 150, right? How many times? Well, think 20 times 8 is 160, so that's too many. So we got to do 7. And then we know 20 times 7 is 140. Okay, subtract these, bring down your imaginary 0. 20 goes into 100, we know 5 times. So there you go. So your answer is 0.75. So n equals 0.75, but it's asking for a percent. So remember, you need to move your decimal in over 2 places to the right to make it a percent. So you're going to have 75%. Okay? There you go. Okay, I want you to try and work on these 100% by Thursday. Let me show you your last skill that I want you to complete. So if you go to 7th grade, you're in module 4 again. Solve percent equations of word problems. So the exact same thing we're doing, they just put them in word problems is all they're doing. So let's look at Victor's hats. 54 out of 60 hats are baseball. What percentage of the hats are baseball? So you're going to do the exact same thing. 54 out of 60 are baseball. So what percentage? So just think of it this way. If you got a 54, if you got 54 questions right on a test, 54 divided by 60 total questions, what's your grade going to be? And it's going to show you right here. So here's your decimal right here. It's going to be a 0. 60 obviously goes into 54 0 times, but it goes into 540 how many times? Well, think what 6 times what gives you 54? 6 times 9 gives you 54. So what's your percent going to be? Move it over twice. 1, 2. Your percent is going to be 90. 90%. Don't forget you need to put in your percent sign. Okay, let's look at one more. This morning, Kendra took a history test. She got 4 problems right and 1 wrong. What percent did she get? This one's easy. Just think in your head. If you got 4 out of 5, what percent are you going to get? All right. So 5 questions. Each question is worth how many points to get up to 100, right? 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. So each one's worth 20%. So if she got 4 right, she got 80% correct. Let's look at the last one, then I want you guys to try this on your own. 8 out of 80 teachers in a school staff meeting were first-year teachers. What percentage of the teachers in the meeting were first-year teachers, right? 80 teachers, that's a lot. We do not have 80 teachers at St. Regis. So 8 out of 80. So all that means is you're going to do 8, right, divided by 80. Because 8 out of 80. Here's your decimal. Okay, 80 goes into 8 0 times, but it goes into 80 1 time. Move your decimal over twice. 1, 2, 10%, right? So it's going to be 10%. Oops. Nope. There you go. Okay. All right, there you go. I want you to try to complete these 100% by Thursday. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help. Don't forget, on Friday, we're video chatting. So I'd love to see your face and talk to you with Mrs. Morton. Hope you all have a good day. Take care.